Hey everyone, welcome back. So thrilled to be with you again. And if this is your first time, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this really helps you and encourages you and strengthens you to do the hard things in life that help you get somewhere better. You know, doing the hard things today helps us tomorrow. So it's not as much doom and gloom as we think it is, especially with our emotional life, our emotional health, wellness, not wholeness. So this is why we're here. I just really want to encourage you. I know that some of these topics can be daunting. I know that this topic especially is daunting because not everything in life is easy. We're not always smiling every day, but honestly, moving through life, when you do these things, it actually gets easier, it gets better, your friendships get stronger, work gets better. And I'm not saying this because I'm a hypocrite and I'm not doing these things at all, but I'm saying this from a perspective where I'm actually walking through these things even more right now. Like before, I wasn't really going after these things as hectically, but now I am, and I'm seeing improvements in my life. I'm seeing improvements in dealing with things. Like, I'm not dealing with things for months and months because I have just shoved them in the back closet and don't want to open it, don't want to see them. But now as things come up, I've started dealing with them, and it's really been helping my life. And so I hope it helps your life too. In one of my previous episodes, I spoke about telling your story and that it's time to tell your story. It's time to open up, especially if there's something really big and significant that happened to you. Just tell your story. It's hard. It's difficult. You're probably going to cry through it. You're probably going to scream through it if it was angering. But it's time to tell your story. And this week, I just want to take that concept a little bit further, because all of us are running away from sharing stuff that we need to share with people, but it's so necessary. It is so necessary to open that back closet where we've been stuffing things, where we've been hiding from our emotions, where we actually don't even realize that we've got stuff in there, like more junk. Like, some of us are walking through life pretending that we don't have junk, and that is an absolute lie. Hard stuff happens, emotional stuff happens, traumatic stuff happens, whether we plan, especially when we don't plan for it. And we need to be dealing with that. We need to be sharing that stuff with people. We need to be opening our lives to healing. You know, our closed doors do represent darkness, and it's the stuff we're trying to hide. And no matter how much we try to hide this emotional stuff, the truth is we can't hide it. It does show. Our faults show, our shortcomings show, our vices show. Some days when we are over life, like, we do stuff and it's not great, and we're messing over everybody in our lives. Like, we just can't get away from that. But we can actively go after healing. We can actively heal some of these parts that we really don't want to heal. I guarantee you, once you heal it, you move forward. You go on with your life. You don't have to pay attention to what was in the past any longer. So many of us think we're going to be stuck in those old ways forever. No. Opening the door means that it gets out and it goes away somewhere far away, hopefully, and we can just continue with our lives. A lot of the stuff is stopping us from thriving. These hidden things, these secrets that we go home and we find coming to the surface when we're trying to sleep, obviously that is affecting you. Obviously that is going to make an impact on tomorrow, on what happens in your day, what happens with your friends. So do it. Open the door. Allow healing to come into your life. And at this point, I want to just say something important. If nobody told you this today, I'm honored to be the first person to say this. And that's, you are important. Your life is important. You are valuable and loved. And if nobody said that to you today, go ahead and tell that to yourself as well. It's so important, you know, to give ourselves self-love and affirm ourselves even when it's ugly. I just want to continue on this topic of opening the door on our stories and our lives that are big, small, whatever is impacting us in this present moment or in the past. I want us just to open the door a little bit and allow people in and share. So here are just 3 little nuggets that you can do and you should consider as you open this scary, scary door that is called our emotional baggage. So the first thing to do to open the door, or to consider as you open the door on your emotional baggage, is honesty. It is absolutely essential that you and me, we are 100% honest with ourselves. And sometimes that is difficult, and we'll talk about that in the next point, but honesty is the only way we really get to move forward with life. If we're not honest, if we cannot really be honest with the situation, then we're not really going to get the breakthrough that we desire. We're not really going to move forward the way we desire, the way we need. We're not really going to be able to get people to encourage us where we really need encouragement. And so many of us are afraid of just being honest. We think when we're honest, we think people are going to look down upon us. We think we're going to be judged. But why are we so focused on what other people are doing? Why aren't we focused on ourselves and actually healing ourselves? Like, if somebody judges you, that is not your problem. That is literally their problem, their issue, their whatever for judging you. All you can do is focus on yourself, focus on your healing, focus on pinpointing the issues well enough. Like, nobody's going to be honest from the get-go. It takes time, it takes practice, it takes loving yourself and affirmation to actually get to this point where you're able to be honest with yourself. And actually, sometimes we also don't know the extent that we need to be honest. Sometimes we believe something else about the situation that may not be true. And so stick around for point 2, which will help you with these moments where we are deceived. We do get deceived, guys. I just came out of a little bit of deception in my life recently, and I thought the situation was another way. And then I was being as honest as I could in that place of deception. And I was recognizing that I'm in the situation, things need to happen, things need to change, but I just didn't know, like, the truth of the matter. So yeah, so leave grace in this area as well for yourself, grace for your life, grace to know that you're also going to make mistakes in being honest, and other people are going to make mistakes in being honest with you. We're not perfect beings, we're not going to get it right all the time, but the point of the matter is trying and going after it and believing the best in others and the best in yourself. Like, I didn't know that was truly how I felt, but I'm not beating myself up for getting the situation wrong. I am just allowing it to be what it is. And yeah, so honesty really does allow you to see things, allows you to address things the way you know best how to address things. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you if you're honest about the faults in your closet or the misgivings, the mishaps, or whatever it is that you need to be honest about. It doesn't mean you're wrong. It doesn't mean that you must throw yourself away now, like people must stop being your friend. Like, no. Can we just be a little bit more mature about this? Like, we are faulty human beings. So acknowledging our faults means that we get to work on them, and then we get to do better next time, if there's a next time. And guys, I know honesty is hard. This is the first year in my being. Okay, I've started this a little bit earlier, but really, this is the first time I can really look at my situations, circumstances, things that happen, and actually allow myself to be honest. And sometimes it sucks, it feels really bad, but I have to do it. And then the next day, things are better. So honesty, that is the first thing that you can consider as you open the store, is actually a really key ingredient, is honesty. Right, guys? So the second thing that you need to consider or think about as we open this door on the scary things that have happened in our lives is that you need to understand who you are. That goes to not just understanding your ticks, not just understanding your likes, and not only just going for what is positive, but knowing that we are these nuanced beings. So we're not just going to be straightforward. We are complex. Some of us a little bit more simpler than others. I know I'm a little bit more complicated because I am this emotional being and very in touch with my emotions, and that's okay. That's like who I am. And so I've come to understand that because I'm in touch with my emotions, because I am a little bit more a feeler, than this straight ABC person, that I have to allow and make room for this emotional being that I am. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I bring a new side of things to life that other people don't bring, as well as those who are more ABC or those who are more in the clouds. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. Like, who you are is beautiful. Just understand that part of telling your story is understanding who you are, understanding how you tick, how you move, what gets you going, what doesn't get you going, because all of those are keys to emotional health. So let me expose myself a little bit here. One of the things that I've come to understand in my life is I can tell how I am doing based on the state of my room. Because my room is where nobody really goes. It's just me who enters my room. Like, it can be any which way it wants to be, right? So I know, like, I have like levels of knowing. So I try to keep my clothes folded and things in their place and rearrange quite often, because I like to get rid of things. Like, clutter does make me a little bit more nervous, a little bit more uneasy. So I do that like regularly. But then I know that if I don't make up my bed properly in the mornings, I barely leave it like unmade. But when you just throw the covers off, you don't really fix things underneath. I know that that was a day that I was not having a good morning, and I need to check in with myself. And then another thing is, my next level is, if my clothes don't make it back into my wardrobe and there's more clothes on the bed than in the wardrobe, and there's more shoes on the floor than in the wardrobe, I know that there is something way amiss with me, and I need time with myself. I need to focus, and I need to see what is going on, because that is an indicator of my emotional health. And I know not everybody's there on my level where I understand myself that way, but I want to encourage you, like, figure out like what is your routine, like what are the things that you do that get you going, that help you know where you're at. It can be like you like things in a certain way in the bathroom, or it may not have to do with the way you pack things, but there are keys that we have in our lives that show us that, hey, this is wrong. Like, it may be that you're good at controlling your temper in traffic, and now all of a sudden you're blowing up at every single person in the traffic. Or it may be that you just don't want to see people. Those are all indicators of our emotional health, and that is so key to telling a story. Like, then you know that it's time to address what is going on inside. You know that there is something wrong, that there is just something amiss. It doesn't have to be major, or it can be major, that needs dealing with, so that you can live life well and do things well. Like, just take note of yourself and what you like, what you don't, what you prefer. Like, these preferences, we love to put ourselves down about our preferences, but for me, I enjoy a clean room. And if you enjoy a dirty room, that is okay. And if it has no bearing on your life, fine. So yeah, that's the second thing that you can consider as you are opening up, as you are letting these things out of the closet. Like, this is knowing yourself and understanding how you work is a key indicator of when it's time to address some things in your closet and share. And then the last thing, my response was not what I expected it to be, because I thought I had a better handle on life and things. And the truth was, I didn't have a good handle on any part of the story. And that's also what understanding yourself helps you do. It like helps you know how to give yourself grace, helps you know how to love yourself in these moments when somebody comes up to you and tells you the truth about your situation. It allows you to handle it just a little better and not like hate on the people who are trying to tell you and show you. Like, allow people to show you. And if they're right, like, they're right. If they're wrong, they're wrong. No train smash. It doesn't have to affect your relationships and your life and all of this drama. No, you can just move on and like throw that one, flush it down the toilet and forget about it, So yeah, find people who will tell you the truth. Find people who are honest with you. Allow people to speak into your life. It is so necessary, and it really does help your emotional health. It helps you to move on and to move forward and to just gain the perspective that you need in your life. We can't keep walking through life like these wounded souls, guys. There is so much life to live, so many relationships to have, so many good relationships to have, not just average relationships, but good relationships to have in this world. But it takes opening up about the skeletons that we have in our closet. It takes addressing the darkness, because the darkness can be anything from abuse to insecurities to low self-worth to depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts. Like, that is what lies in our closets. And to be able to acknowledge, be honest about that, understand yourself, and find people who will tell you the truth about those situations, like, that is so key in moving forward and past these skeletons in our closet. So guys, I hope this helped you. If you want to watch my previous video, please go and watch it. It's about telling a story and the significance of why you should tell your story, and there's so much other content on my channel that will help you love yourself better, help you move forward in life, and help you just address these emotional stuff. Like, this is as big a part of our lives as our finances, as our career, and we don't really focus on it, so it's time to focus on it. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please like this video, please share it on your networks, share it with people. Like, let's create a community where we can love each other, where we can encourage each other. If this was helpful, like, comment. If you have any questions for me, if you want to know more about my story or moving forward, how you can do it, like, hit me up. Like, let's talk. Let's not stay in these bad places that we don't need to stay in. Okay, family, once again, I love you so much. You are beautiful, and yeah, talk soon.